Week 17 of the NFL season. I can't remember a season where we've had so many electric primetime games. Brock Purdy, I think, solidified top 10 quarterback, won't tolerate otherwise. That play he had against the Bears was unbelievable. We had the Patriots putting belt to my Jets, needle not moved with Drake Maye whatsoever. The Jets defense stinks. We had Josh Allen laying a little bit of another egg. Like, he's done this a few times this season. He doesn't get any slack for it. If you're watching on YouTube, and I'm not going to react to the Saturday games, go watch that other episode. Literally just go to my channel, hit the subscribe button while you're there, and then you can see the the Saturday recaps for all of those games. Baker Mayfield stinks. He's absolute garbage. He played horrible again today. The Bucs are pretty much done, kind of, because the Panthers are equally just as bad. And the Eagles defense is the real deal. The 49ers also top 5 offense with Brock Purdy. We have a lot to get into today. Let's start from the top. Let's start with Patriots, Jets. Drake Maye throwing for 5 touchdowns, 90% completion percentage, over 250 yards. And all of these Drake Maye Glazers out of nowhere. Drake Maye MVP, Drake Maye this, Drake Maye that. Matthew Stafford has Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams to throw to. Do you guys want to know the difference between Matthew Stafford and Drake Maye? The difference is this. Drake Maye throws for 5 touchdowns, 90% completion percentage against a New York Jets defense where the cornerback one is Quantez Stiggers, who was literally playing in Canada 3 seasons ago, and then Brandon Stevens, who's going to be out of the league in 2 years. Matthew Stafford goes over to Germany and plays the 12-win Jacksonville Jaguars without Puka Nacua and throws 5 touchdowns to Devontae Adams. Drake Maye is nowhere near the MVP. It's Matthew Stafford's who's 40 touchdowns, 5 interceptions before the Monday Night Football game. That guy has been unbelievable. And I understand you went, oh, but he has Puka, McVay, Devontae Adams. Watch the guy play. He's been unbelievable. Outside of that one Panthers game, he's been pretty much perfect. He's thrown the best, but he's been the best quarterback in the NFL this season. He is on a whole nother level, and he's done it against some of the best defenses in the NFL. He doesn't have this cupcake, Mickey Mouse-ass schedule that Drake Maye's been playing on all season long. Not a single top 10 scoring defense on the Patriots schedule. There are only 3 teams that they played this season that are top 15 in scoring defense. It's been unbelievably Mickey Mouse. The only real good defense they played was the Cleveland Browns, but the Browns don't have an offense to complement their good defense because Dylan Gabriel was starting at the time, and even if it was Shadur Sanders, he's just as garbage as Dylan Gabriel. The Patriots have played 1 team or 3 teams, about 3 games above 500. They're 1-2 in those games against teams above 500. Drake Maye does not deserve the most fraudulent schedule cupcake MVP award ever. It's Matthew Stafford easily. Drake Maye was really good today, though. Drake Maye was really good today. Here's how you rebuild the New York Jets. And I don't want you guys to think I'm crazy here, but Alec Pierce, George Pickens are free agents this year, yes? Blank check, bring back Breece Hall. The Jets are like top 3 in the NFL in salary cap. They have the money to do that, especially after parting ways with Sauce Gardner and Quinnen Williams. Let Jermaine Johnson walk. No need to extend him. Let Elijah Vera Tucker walk. That guy can't stay on the field. Draft Dante Moore or Fernando Mendoza, whichever one the Raiders pass, and I'm comfortable with either one of them before the college football playoff happens. A lot can change between now and the college football national championship. Draft one of those rookie quarterbacks. Pierce, Pickens, Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall, Armand Membu's the best rookie offensive lineman, rookie offensive player in this draft. Olu Fashanu is a stud. Myers, Tittman, Simpson. You have an offensive line. The offense is set, and then you have another first-round pick in 26. You have 3 more first-round picks. You're going to have 2 second-round picks this year as well. Spend them all on defensive players for the next 3 years. We're talking Super Bowl 2030. That's how you rebuild the New York Jets. They have the worst defense I've ever seen in my entire life, and I've seen some bad defenses. It is horrible. It is horrible. And the Patriots fans, like this win should just not move the needle at all for the Patriots. At all. The Jets shut down Will McDonald, who leads the team in sacks. Their best defensive player right now is probably Jermaine Johnson, and that guy's not the. He's good. He's a slightly above league average player. Quincy Williams has an All-Pro. He's not the same player since Salah left. Same with Jamin Sherwood. Malachi Moore is probably the best player in the secondary. He's a 4th-round rookie. So the Jets' defense is garbage. The Patriots are just much better from a talent perspective. Like Drake Maye, yeah, he completed all his passes. Everybody was wide open. It's like he wasn't making crazy plays. He was just throwing to wide open receivers all day long while no pressure was getting home because the Jets shut down their best pass rusher before this game. And the only reason they rolled out Brady Cook for the 3rd straight week in a row, 4th straight week in a row is because they're committed to the tank. Because Brady Cook stinks. I've watched a lot of bad Jets quarterback play. He's up there with the worst of it. So the Patriots are still, they're a tough team to gauge realistically because they haven't played anybody good. And when they have played good teams, they lost. And those, like, they're 1-2 against teams above 500. Like I said, like, I will not fail to let you guys know. So it's just hard to really gauge how good this Patriots team is. I think they can win a playoff game if it's the Chargers, if it's the if it's the Steelers, I think they can win. But against a team like Denver or Houston or even Jacksonville, the back half of the year, their defensive line has been incredible. The Patriots are fucked because those are some elite pass rushes against a defense or against an offensive line that was bottom 5 in terms of sack percentage allowed with Will Campbell playing, and Will short-armed Mickey Mouse T-Rex boy Campbell, the most overrated fucking rookie lineman in the history, because he's if I allow a sack a game, I'm gonna be working at Amazon, and that's all right. A defensive end gets a sack a game, he's gonna be a top 5 pick. Okay, that's just the standard. That's literally why people think Will Campbell's good. He's not anything crazy. They pass on Armand Membu, who is 100 pounds heavier, a few inches taller, and ran a 4.9 because Will Campbell had some cool quotes in a post game presser and was the left tackle for Jaden Daniels, who was the hardest quarterback to sack in the NFL. So it's ridiculous that people think this Patriots offensive line is going to be fixed when Will Campbell comes back. That guy's he's mid. He's obviously only 21. Like, he's not I'm not saying he's a bust, but Gray Zabel is better. Armand Membu is better. Kelvin Banks is better. Josh Simmons is better. Tyler Smith is better. There's 5 rookie offensive linemen I just named that have been better than Will Campbell has this year. The Patriots took him 4th overall. Clown show. Not really. They're pretty good, I'd say. But either way, yeah, that's my take on it. Cardinals, Bengals. Jacoby Brissett pissed down his leg. Where were you guys in the summer when I said, take Chase Brown? Started off not looking good for the Chase Brown truthers. Boy, did he finish strong. Chase Brown was a dog, 2 touchdowns, 100 yards on the ground. I think he had a few more in the air as well. Jacoby Brissett bad. Joe Burrow still very good at football. This team isn't going anywhere. Shout out to whoever the lineman was, 61. Not only did he catch a speed out, but he turned that bitch upfield. He got north-south real quick, and he brought some Cardinals defenders with him. So shout out to Bengals. Like, I guess, win and build some momentum into next year. I also had a take when the Cardinals were 2-0 that they're the most fraudulent 2-0 team in the league. Here they are now 3-13. So, although people like to let me know when I'm wrong, and I am wrong a decent bit, I'm way more right than I am wrong, people. I really am. I've been wrong this, obviously, I wasn't even wrong on the Patriots. I said, if Drake May's that guy, the Patriots should be really good. They have an easy schedule. I just wasn't ready to. Obviously, I'm a Jets fan. I'm not going to say Drake May's good. I'm not going to do that. That's just not. Those words are not going to come out of my mouth, especially before he went on the run that he had this season. So I'm not even claiming that as a loss. I've been right. I said the Bears were going to be bad. That was a big swing and a miss. I said the Broncos were going to be really good. For some reason, all over sports media, you had the Theo Ashers of the world just on their knees. The Raiders, Geno Smith, they stink. The Raiders stink. I said Tyler Shuck was a problem. He looks really good. That's what I said. The Colts, if their quarterback position can figure it out, they have the roster. They did, and then the quarterback position, it shit the bed. So I think I was on about a little bit team. Let's move on though. Steelers, Browns, man, I'm really worried about this Steelers team, man, because without DK Metcalf, even though the Ravens defense is a complete and utter joke, they don't generate any pass rush. Aaron Rodgers carved them up a few weeks ago. There was a legitimate problem with them throwing the football. They threw a fade on 4th down to Scotty Miller, ladies and gentlemen. The Steelers without DK Metcalf is crazy. And the Steelers traded away George Pickens because he was a head case to bring in a guy that punched a fan in the face with 2 weeks to go in the season. Now he's going to miss the last 2 games. He's going to miss the game on Sunday Night Football with the division on the line. Malpractice over there in Philly. Aaron Rodgers slowed down again today, but again, he's going to go up against one of the best defenses in the NFL without his wide receiver 1. It's going to be a little bit difficult to get things going here, and he was still able to drive down the field with a minute 50 left in the 4th quarter. Couldn't get the job done. Again, he has not been as clutch on those game-winning drives over the past few seasons as he was prior in his career when he's winning MVPs a lot. So I'm worried about the Steelers without DK, man. I really am. And if Lamar plays, probably going to be betting on the Ravens. We'll see though. And I fucking listen, I'm going to rock at a hard place here, okay? Because I have a future. Baltimore Ravens to win the Super Bowl, San Antonio Spurs to win the NBA Finals. The Spurs are looking fantastic. They are looking unbelievable. But if the Ravens sneak into the playoffs now, Lamar in that conference, no Mahomes, maybe he can beat Josh Allen. That defense isn't really good. That defense is not good. Derrick Henry's unbelievable. Talked about it on yesterday's episode. Go give it a listen. So, but at the same time, I have the Steelers. I have a future on the Steelers to lose in the first round of the playoffs. So I guess I'm in a pretty good spot here. I'm in a decent spot. I mean, the smarter bet would be like, let's root for the Steelers, hopefully, because they're definitely going to lose in the first round if they make it. But also there's that part of it. It's like, if the Ravens get in here, I don't think they're anything. I think the Ravens are bad, especially on defense. We'll see, though. We'll see. Zay Flowers has been turning up. They just got to high and tight here. Here, I don't have my ball that I play with, my football that I play with, so I can't demonstrate for the YouTube viewers how to. I'm kind of demonstrating. Either way, good win for the Browns. Shedeur Sanders fucking sucks. That guy stinks. What are Shedeur Sanders' stats now? The touchdown that he threw was an absolute duck as well. There's no business that thing got completed. And he threw the worst interception in the league. Can we be done? Can we be done with Shedeur Sanders now? Can we just admit that this guy stunk? He was a product of nepotism. If his name was Joe Schmo, he would have been undrafted. 7 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. He has a 20 quarterback rating. 20 quarterback rating. Shedeur Sanders. This guy is not good. All of his passing yards have either came on screen passes or they were against the Titans. He is not a good quarterback. The interception that he threw was horrible. The touchdown that he threw to Harold Fannin had no business being caught. He has looked horrible. I was never in on this guy even before the draft. I was like, all of these NFL guys are talking about, like, they have him high on their boards. I must be missing something, so I put him up there. I never saw it. He was an average quarterback in college. He looks like a bad quarterback in the NFL. Can he figure it out? Maybe, but I don't know what we've seen on tape that can be like, okay, this guy can be the future in the NFL, besides that Titans game against one of the worst defenses in football that they lost. So I don't know what we're doing here with Shedeur Sanders. Can we just be done with him and move on? And all these Shedeur Sanders Glazers can just shut up. I think that's where we need to be. And I'm going to sound like a hater, but I mean, I don't know how you watch him play and you think, yeah, this guy's the real deal. This guy's got it. What are we talking about here? He stinks. He really does. Saints at Titans. When did Tyler Shuck take over here? When did Tyler Shuck take over? How many? Is this guy have 1 loss? Tyler Shuck, Rookie of the Year. I think it's not really disputable at this point. He's been incredible. He's been incredible. Let me look at his game log, though, really quick, just to see, like, when did he start? How many games have they lost? They've won 4 straight. They beat Tampa, Carolina, New York, and Tennessee. So listen, if I'm gonna pull the schedule card for Drake May, we got to pull the schedule card here for Tyler Shuck. That's not exactly the greatest catalog of victories, but he's dropped some seeds. He's thrown some dots. He revived Christopher Olave. If you had him in fantasy playoffs, congratulations. I don't know how you don't look at Tyler Shuck. You don't look at his mobility in the pocket. You don't look at the arm strength. You don't see the arm talent. I don't know what you're watching if you don't think this guy can be a legitimate franchise quarterback. And because they've won down the stretch here, they've won 4 straight. They've won 5 out of their last 7. They've played themselves. He's played this Saints team out of a position to be able to draft a high-end quarterback, so they're going to have to believe in him one more year. And why not? The Saints need to get younger on the defensive side of the ball. The Saints need to get him another weapon on the outside, get Alvin Kamara healthy. They drafted 2 cornerstones on the offensive line in Fuaga and Kelvin Banks. Both of those guys have been incredible. The interior of their offensive line, I know Cesar Ruiz is there. He's a pretty solid player. I don't know what else they have in the interior, but I think it's pretty solid. It's not like he's under pressure a whole lot. Very good in the pocket. The defense is, I mean, they're a top 10 or top 15 scoring defense, but I don't really hold that that doesn't hold much weight with me, considering that they're just teams just take out. The Saints are bad. The Saints defense is bad. They're just old, too. They're old. So we'll see. I'm a believer in Shuck, though, and we've known that since the start. I'm a Shuck Show guy before it was cool to be a Shuck Show guy. All right, Jags, Colts. A little sketchy here for Phillip Rivers and the Colts. Or Phillip Rivers made it a little bit sketchy down the stretch for the Jags. They had a lead early on here, but Trevor Lawrence has just been incredible. And Parker Washington has single-handedly won games for the Jags so far this season. He almost won them that game against the Texans if it wasn't for Davis Mills' comeback. We had a kick return touchdown. He had a receiving touchdown in the game. He won the game last week against the Broncos with his rack ability. He won the game, not won the game, but he was incredible again today against the Colts defense that had Sauce Gardner playing. So they are Parker Washington, Jacoby Myers, Brian Thomas Jr. is the real deal. There's no alpha. They all split it. I don't know if Brian Thomas Jr. is okay with that, but Trevor Lawrence has been dotting. He did throw his first interception in the past five weeks again today. But again, divisional game on the road. Good win for Jacksonville to just pick up the W. They've now won, 7 straight? And Trevor Lawrence is playing some of the best ball. The Jacksonville Jaguars are the hottest team in the AFC right now. They're a legitimate threat. What have they won? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7. They've won 7 straight, including wins over the Broncos, the Colts twice, the Chargers. So they're the real deal. They lost the Texans. If they didn't lose the Texans, they would be on a 9-game win streak. And they lost the Texans because Davis Mills had 28 or 26, whatever it was, in the 4th quarter. So they play the Titans next week. They're looking like they're going to end the season on on an 8-game winning streak with wins over 2 playoff teams, dominant wins over 2 playoff teams. And I think, what are they going to be, like the 2 seed, depending on next week's game, right? Are the Broncos starting? I should probably know this. I have a tea time tomorrow. I'm not completely locked in on today's episode, as we usually are. Let's look at the playoff picture here real quick. I think every team in the NFC clinched except for the NFC South, and I think that's the same, but for the AFC North. Okay. So the Jags, I don't know if the Jags can move up, but I think they're locked in at the 3 seed. Okay. I don't know. I don't know what's happening. I'm not going to pretend to understand this playoff schedule right now. Let's just move on. Bucks, Dolphins, probably watched this game the least. Quinn Ewers looked good, but when I did see him completing passes, it was to wide open players, so I might just be box score watching there. But Baker Mayfield was bad. He was bad. He was bad. A fumble, a couple interceptions, or a couple of turnovers. It just wasn't good for Baker, and he's really fallen apart here in the latter half of the season. They have lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 of their last 10. The Bucks have lost. Baker Mayfield, 2 interceptions and a fumble. Garbage against a Dolphins team that is horrible in the back end. Bottom 5 in the league in yards allowed per pass attempt. Not a good showing for Baker. And if they won this game, would they have even had to win next week against the Panthers? Did I read that? Is that right? They would have been what? No, I think they still would have had to win. Either way, when you're in next season, I don't think either team wants to be in the playoffs the way the Panthers and the Bucks are playing. I want the Panthers to play so that I could potentially go to that game. I do live in North Carolina, so that would be fun. But yeah, Seahawks, Panthers. Panthers hung around here, man. They really did. It looked like it was packed in Charlotte for the first time in a long time, which is good to see. Football is better when the Panthers are good. JC Horn face mask. That was the game. The Panthers were down 17. They score a touchdown. Third and long. They get a stop. JC Horn face mask. 15-yard penalty. First down for Seattle. They go and score a touchdown. Not ideal. But you also got to put some blame on Bryce Young. And one of my main things going into this game was like, what type of Bryce Young are we going to get? What type of Bryce Young are we going to get? Are we going to get the Bryce Young we saw throw for 400 yards against the Falcons? The Bryce Young that threw 4 touchdowns against the Rams? Or are we going to get the Bryce Youngs we saw that lost to the Saints? And we got the Bryce Young that lost to the Saints. He wasn't good today. Bad interception right after the Seahawks get us, or the Panthers get a red zone interception. Bryce Young comes out and throws it in right back, gives the ball right back to Sam, and the Seahawks just not ideal. 13 QBR, 54 yards, and an interception. Not good from the passing game and Bryce Young, which is like, if either of these teams make the playoffs, like I think the Panthers have a better chance to beat a team in the playoffs because they've beaten the Rams, they beat the Packers, and the Bucks have just lost. Like they're obviously way colder than the Panthers. So I think I'm going to bet the Panthers next week, but I think also it'll just be better entertainment value if the Panthers get in over the Bucks because they've shown the ability to beat a good team, and the Bucks did beat the Seahawks. The Bucks probably had the best offensive day against any team offensively against the Seahawks. Actually, Baker Mayfield went off in that game, so I just have a tough time trusting either of these teams. Obviously, I think they're first round exit. I don't even know who they play. Well, the Seahawks and Niners are playing for the number 1 seed next week, so I think the loser of that game would play the Panthers, I believe. So, yeah. Or the Rams. So, they don't. If the Panthers play the Rams, the Panthers beat them one time. Maybe they get them again. That would be crazy. Either way, Giants, Raiders. I think this was an intentional tank. Shout out Wan'Dale Robinson, 1,000 yards on the season. Jackson Dart, pretty good game for him. But the Raiders, I watched something. The Raiders are playing so far off. It's like almost like they were trying to lose this game on purpose. But the Giants had a chance to lock in the number 1 seed today with a loss, and they won. Typical Giants fashion. Do you expect more from them? I don't. So yeah. But either way, good stuff. Like if you're a Giants fan, you still got to be happy because no way that any team can really jump you. That like the Raiders are going to take a quarterback, right? So it doesn't really matter that you're at the 102. I guess the appeal would be like if you're ahead of the Raiders, then you have an opportunity to collect extra draft capital, whether you're trading with the Raiders or you're trading with a team that needs a quarterback to try and jump the Raiders. So yeah, you'd rather have the opportunity to get extra draft capital. So yeah, I guess that loss does suck then. But in terms of like what player you're going to get, they were never going to take the same player as the Raiders because the Raiders obviously need a quarterback. And Mendoza says that he models his game after Tom Brady. And Tom Brady's part ownership share in the Raiders. It's got to be Mendoza to the Raiders now. Eagles, Bills. This Eagles defense is the real deal, ladies and gentlemen. They are very good. They shut down this Bills run game, held James Cook to under 4 yards a carry. They turned Josh Allen over, and they sacked him 5 times. Josh Allen, one of the hardest guys to sack in the NFL. And this Bills offensive line has been overrated all year. The Bills just haven't played a whole lot of good pass rushes. They played a good one today, and they got after him in Jalen Carter's first game back. But Josh Allen, for some reason, is immune to any type of criticism from the media. Like, he hasn't played any type of bad football at all this year. And that's just an objective fault. Like, it's just not true. Like, I don't understand how nobody talks about Josh Allen like he had. I don't know how to phrase this for the clip. We're clip farming here, chat. Josh Allen's just immune to any type of criticism from anybody ever. He's allergic to it. Nobody can ever talk bad about Josh Allen. But you look at some of the losses the Bills have had this year. Josh Allen was not good against the Eagles on Sunday. He was horrible against the Texans, a couple of interceptions. He was bad against Miami, an interception and a fumble. He was bad against the Falcons. He was bad against the Patriots. And they lost all of those games. Like, Josh Allen has played bad football. He's put the ball in harm's way more this year than he did last year. But all anybody ever wants to talk about with the Bills and Josh Allen is that he has no help. Like, he doesn't have a James Cook who's likely going to be first team All-Pro running back or second team All-Pro running back. Like, the offensive line is overrated. It's still one of the better units in the NFL. The reason I think people are talking like it's the best line in football, incorrect. They don't allow a lot of sacks because Josh Allen is their quarterback. And yes, the Bills defense is also bad. But Josh Allen has played some bad football, some bad games this season, and we don't give him any blame for it. Like, he is part of, like, he deserves some blame. Like, the Bills are a bad roster. They're a bad football team, and Josh Allen has to carry. But he's also been responsible for a few losses that the Bills have had this year, and nobody wants to talk about it whatsoever. You can't trust this Bills team in the playoffs unless Josh Allen plays like Superman. That's the only way they win games. That's the only way they win games. And that's not even true because they beat the Bengals without Josh Allen playing Superman. They had 2 turnovers by Joe Burrow in the fourth quarter. Like, you can't trust this Bills team. Josh Allen is allergic to criticism, though, for whatever reason. And the Eagles in the second half. Also, the Bills get more calls than any team in the NFL when it comes to the officials. Like, their Chiefs level of just dick riding from the officials. And nobody wants to talk about it because Buffalo can do no wrong. And I can't stand that. Everybody loves the Bills. Everybody loves Josh Allen. It's kind of because they're kind of like Mahomes is the protagonist, or what's the antagonist, the bad guy, and then the Bills are kind of the protagonist. I think that's what it was. Let me look it up real quick. I want to be cool in my definitions here. Protagonist definition, literature. The main character in this. Okay, yeah. So, like, the Bills or the Chiefs have been the antagonists over the last few years in the AFC. The Bills have been the protagonists because the Chiefs are the big bad dynasty that win all the time. People want the Bills, so nobody wants to talk bad about the Bills. They fucking suck. They suck. They played a very easy schedule as well. A lot of same common components as the Patriots. It's just where the Patriots play the Giants, the Bills play the Eagles. You know, that's how first place scheduling works, fourth place scheduling works. But still, a lot of common opponents. They played the same division. They played the Dolphins twice. They played the Jets twice. The Patriots just took care of the Jets twice. And I think the Patriots took care of the Dolphins. They might play the Dolphins. Either way, Bills defense is bad. Their weapons are bad. Shout out Brandon Cooks in this game. And the Bills get so much more glazing. That's the point I was trying to get across with the whole protagonist-antagonist thing. So much calls on they got away with so much. A.J. Brown had one arm being held behind his back. Still almost made the play because that's how bad the Bills defense is. No call. Jalen Carter was getting held all game. No call. Not Quinyon Mitchell. The Quinyon Mitchell pass interference was ticky-tacky, and if you're not going to call it, don't call it. Then, like, that's the thing. That's the thing. Like, if you want to let the boys play, then let the boys play all game. Let the physicality happen, unless it's something egregious. If you're going to be ticky-tacky, be ticky-tacky all game. Like, it's when these officials just choose when to enforce certain rules stricter than other ones. That's where the problem is. If you're gonna call the game like a pussy, call the game like a pussy the entire time. And I ref soccer back in my day. And I let the boys get away with a lot. Like, if I'm coaching U10, they push each other every single play. So I'm not going to blow the whistle every single play unless it's like every time there's a little bit of physical altercation. I'm going to let these kids duke it out. I'm going to let these kids play a little bit, bring back physicality, unless something egregious happens, right? That was consistent in letting the boys play. And I would rep the same teams and they would understand that. Like, all right, this guy's going to let him play. He's going to let the boys duke it out. He's not going to blow the whistle every 10 seconds. That's just the type of ref I was. I stayed consistent. These refs in the NFL are the opposite of consistent, except in that Chargers game on Saturday. They were consistently calling the game like a bunch of pussies. Not in the Bills-Eagles game today. Very ticky-tacky stuff being called on the Eagles. Nothing being called on the Bills. Even like they wanted to call a penalty on the Bills, like illegal man downfield. No. We'll pick that up right away. Yeah. The Bills got the first down. Okay, yeah, no flag. Literally what it was. Shout out Brandon Cooks. And some of the catches, like Tyrell Shavers made an incredible catch in this game. Brandon Cooks made an incredible catch in this game. Josh Allen threw some dots in this game as well. So did Jalen Hurts. In the first half, like that 3rd and 10 scramble, dot on the sideline to A.J. Brown. No completions in the second half. Not a good look for you Eagles, Jalen Hurts D-Riders. Not a good look. But a W is a W. Josh Allen also missed the throw on the 2-point conversion. Had the guy open, missed it. So I'm out on the Bills. I'm really out on the Bills, and I'm not even that in on the Eagles either. This game was supposed to be a measuring stick test, and I don't feel like I have a good measurement on either team. Better measurement on the Eagles. Good defense, offense still worries me. The Bills is just like they're bad. They're not good. The Bills are not good. I don't think the Bills are that good. I think the Bills are. I don't think it's their year. I don't trust them in the playoffs. I don't. Bears-Niners, what a game. The Bears-Niners game was the first game in NFL history to have a tie at 7-14, 21, 28, and 35. Isn't that just crazy? Back and forth action all the way. And this is the problem with the Bears defense is if they don't create turnovers, teams will be able to move the ball on them. And after that pick six, Brock Purdy did a great job taking care of the ball. I was on the record last week, Brock Purdy, top 10 quarterback. He's solidified that at this point. Here's my way too early offseason list top 10 quarterbacks for you guys, real quick, chat. Mahomes 1, Allen 2, Lamar 3, Burrow 4, Stafford 5, Daniel 6, Herbert 7, Hurts 8, May 9, Purdy 10. Way too early top 10. Way too early. Caleb Williams, Trevor Lawrence can get in there depending on how they play in the playoffs. CJ Stroud can get in there depending on how he plays in the playoffs. I don't think like Bo Nix is sniffing it. I don't think Jared Goff, Baker not sniffing it for a while. Jordan Love, if he carries them in the playoffs, he could sniff it. But that's the top 10 in the league right now. My personal opinion. The 49ers are very good. I think the 49ers could win the Super Bowl. Maybe the 49ers can win the Super Bowl. I don't know. Their defense is not good. They don't generate a lot of pass rush, but their offense can play with any team in the NFL. Who have they played really in the past? Like since Purdy's been back. Like the Bears defense is they're bottom 5 in yards allowed per pass attempt, bottom 5 in yards allowed, or yards allowed per carry as well. So, but this Niners team beat the Rams with Mac Jones. They beat the Titans, Colts, Bears, Browns, Panthers, Cardinals. That's like not a lot of good defenses on that list. They play the Seahawks next week. That'll be a huge measuring stick test for this Niners offense. If they can dominate the Seahawks team, if they can complete the season sweep of the Seahawks, then we'll know if this team is for real or not. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Hit the subscribe button on YouTube. If you're listening on Spotify, hit the follow button. Happy Overreaction Monday. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow for Hot Take Tuesday and a college football playoff preview. What a week of NFL football. I'll talk to you guys next time I'm live. Hit the subscribe button, Fire Sports 6 on all platforms.